What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of We Lift Big, and I do apologize if there is a slight echo in this recording. If you're watching the YouTube video, you can see that I am not in my usual space, and today I wanted to talk about two things. I don't have any fitness questions today, although thank you so much for those of you who have been submitting questions. I really appreciate it. We'll be able to jump back into the question and answer next week. What I wanted to leave with you instead for the healthy mindfulness part of this podcast is foods you do not go without when you are at work. And this was a question that was brought up to me recently by one of my clients in saying, if I'm working a long day or I'm getting back into work, I'm just out of routine and I don't know what to store in my fridge at work, or where I work, I don't really have a place to store food, or I'm always on the road. And I wanted to go over some of the foods that I keep around me at all times. And so if I need a quick option, if I am stressed or I forget my lunch at home or whatever, it's these are things that I always have stocked at all times. Absolutely at all times. And so these are foods that you should never be at work without, in my opinion. First one being hard-boiled eggs. And so if you have the option to have a fridge and to store things in a fridge, hard-boiled eggs are an excellent source of protein, an excellent source of healthy fats. They last for a good few days. You just boil them up, super easy, and they're a great go-to, in my opinion. Nuts are an incredible option, some sort of trails mix, and also if you aren't trying to eat any meat, so that's an option. Greek yogurt, so again, if you have a fridge, yogurt is an excellent source of protein, and this is just a rule in general of when you are reaching for snacks, the more protein-dense snacks that you can choose, not only the more filling are they going to be, but the American diet just tends to lack enough protein anyways. We, for the most part, need 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of lean body weight. And so Greek yogurt's a great option. Going into the veggies, like carrots, even if you just buy one of those vegetable packs. I love vegetable packs. I will get them from time to time, or baked carrots, something that's easy to grab and go. So you mentioned hard-boiled eggs, Greek yogurt, carrots, or easy pick vegetables. Apples, I think, are an excellent snack to have around because it's going to be those quick carbs. Apples or bananas, things that just don't require any sort of extra processing or packaging, especially if you're someone who's just go all the time. If you are eating meat, then jerky is a brilliant snack. Always have jerky around you at all times. And just jumping back to the veggies real quick, hummus. Hummus is an incredible thing. And so have your hummus, have your vegetables. When it comes to hummus, even leave the crackers behind. Especially if you are on some sort of weight loss goal, or you're trying to focus on things that I can eat that are going to fill me up. Vegetables can go a really long way. Instead of grabbing for the chips, grabbing for the pretzels or things like that. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying that if you are looking for an option and you're working on a weight loss goal, veggies are always going to be the way to go for snacks. The last one, if you're a little bit wild like I am, I will even just cook up chicken breast and I will store that in the fridge. And if I'm hungry, I will just legit eat the chicken breast out of the bag. Might be a little crazy, might be a little bit extreme, but hey, you know what? It works. It works for me. It allows me to eat healthy, just as constant as possible, because that's the whole thing, is you need to find foods that are going to be grab and go. You can live a grab and go life and it can be healthy. So I will post this list in the comments below, but just to mention it one more time, if you say you're driving to the grocery store right now and popping into We Lift Big, what's up? Welcome. I see you. Here we go. Here's the list. So apples, hard-boiled eggs, nuts, mixed nuts or trails mix, jerky, Greek yogurt, carrots or some sort of vegetable, and meat patties. Because you can. That is my go-to list for grab and go items. When I was working close to 50, 60 hours per week, I had to become a master of like the 10-minute meal, the grab and go. And I want people to know that it is possible. You don't have to run and grab that Chick-fil-A. You don't have to run to that McDonald's. Like, these things are here to serve you. And I'm totally down to make a list of all of the go-to snacks that I go to, and so I will do that in the comments below. So moving on to the mindfulness part of the podcast this week, and this was something that I actually did recently as I pull it up on my big computer. There we go. And so I believe in last week's podcast I talked about Brene Brown and her work and about being brave and vulnerability, and I've talked a bit about Simon Sinek, just to rattle off some names that I've mentioned recently. And something that Brene Brown in her book Dare to Lead, a resource that she has, can be found online, and I will attach the link to the comment section below. So here's what I want you to type in to Google, because Google has all the answers. Brene Brown Values PDF, and there'll be a couple different links, but the one that you want to click on is Values-Dare to Lead Hub. And what that's going to do is it's going to take you to a PDF, and on that PDF there's going to be close to 100 different values, ranging from accountability, achievement, adaptability, faith, legacy. And the reason that I bring this up is because it has become apparent in my life, and this is something that Brene Brown talks a lot about in Dare to Lead, is that for the most part, we as individuals have 1 to 3 top values that we live out in our life. In fact, I dare say 2 values that we cherish more than anything else, because we have lots of values in life, and you'll look at the list and be like, oh my god, I resonate with so many of these different values. But the reason I'm bringing this up today again is if you are looking to live a more mindful life, a more purposeful life, a life in which you have more clarity, that is your goal right now, or some element of that is your goal right now, it's important to understand what you stand for. No matter what you do with friends, family, work, how you live your life, just overall, like, all of those were chosen with purpose, and those purposes do align with my top 2 values. And my challenge for you this week is to go download this list and find your top 2 values and notice how they resonate in your everyday life. And if they don't currently resonate in your everyday life, find ways to make them resonate in your everyday life. And so again, looking at the PDF online, there's freedom, friendship, nature, time, tradition. There's a bunch of different values. And the way that I did this personally was I went through and I highlighted ones that resonated with me, that I think are huge parts of my life. And then I went through and I kept dialing down and dialing down and dialing down. And even going into this in the first place, I kind of had an idea of what one of my top values was going to be, and that is growth. And so for me, growth means everything, to be honest. I feel like if I am not growing in some sort of way, I am not living. I am someone who is constantly seeking after knowledge and new perspectives and new skill sets. It's very important for me to feel capable of things. And I realize that that stems from feeling like I always need to be in a state of growth, in a state of betterment. And so I know that growth is one of my top values. And through breaking down all my other values in the search of my second top value, I realized courage is my second top value. And the reason that resonates with me, well, a couple different reasons. One, I think this resonates with me because, funny story, going back, if you've ever been someone who was like, what does my name mean? Totally random. But if you've ever been someone who looks up like, oh, like what does my name mean? I remember doing that with my mom as a child and being like, why'd you name me Bria? What was the reason behind that name? Or did you know? And I was looking up with her what the name Bria meant. And in this particular name meaning book that we looked into, it said that Bria, in meaning terms, was short for Brian, which meant brave. And that was just something that stuck with me throughout most of my life, even until now. It's like, my name means brave. Like, bravery is in my name. And bravery, which we talked about on the podcast, I think even last week or 2 weeks ago, bravery is to do with courage, and courage is to act even if it causes pain, or to create vulnerability. So to be vulnerable is an act of courage. And I think that courage really resonates in my life, in that not only am I someone who wants to be growing constantly, but growth requires courage. It requires vulnerability. It requires grit. And if I'm someone who wants to live my life with courage, if I want someone to be able to look at me and to say, like, wow, she's brave. Like, she has a lot of courage. Like, that's what I want. I get excited just talking and thinking about it. Is like, I would love for people to look at me and just for my energy to radiate and say, damn, like, this girl is growth-minded and she's really fucking brave. Like, she's courageous. And that just goes into, is like, this is why I want you guys to do this week. Because if you can get excited about your own values and be like, damn, like, actually I do value this, like, this is a top value, and then go into the rest of your life and be like, well, how can I make this value resonate into my entire life? Like, you will just watch it transform your everyday life. You'll be living again with purpose. If you've been looking to live with more purpose in your life, this is a great starting place. And also reading Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. Highly recommend. And so again, I will post the link down below to the PDF. I highly recommend you go through it. I would love for you to DM me on Instagram or just reach out to me and let me know what your top values are, and just the ways that you want to bring them into your life. Hey, let's hold each other accountable here. Let's live our higher selves, right? I got you, team. I got you. Anyways, I love you all so much, and I hope you enjoy my new temporary space just for today's cast. Sweating up a storm right now. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next week. Happy Wednesday. Peace.